everybody, it's your girl Melanie. Back in 2017, this random Chinese company reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try this beauty mole removal pen from Jimbao Fang. I had no idea how much this video would blow up. This clip was so popular that it even appeared on an episode of The Doctor's TV show.
This is a terrible idea, and I think you already knew I was going to say that.
Of course, I knew they were going to use it to talk about the dangers of using this product. I thought it was about time to post an update to let you know what I really think of this plasma mole removal pen and if it really works. Well, the short answer is yes and no. And in this update, I'm going to do a few more demos on a couple of different moles to show you how it works on different areas of the skin. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an esthetician, and I do not work for this company. So you can ask me all the questions you want, but I'm just a regular person just like you who was interested in getting rid of some moles. So make sure you get any moles you have checked by a dermatologist before you try to zap them off yourself. Here are a few clips from the first video, which was my very first time trying the product. If you want to see the whole thing, I'll put a link at the end and in the comments below. I watched a few other videos beforehand, but I still didn't really know what I was doing, and I was really scared. There are instructions that come with it. They are in Chinese, so I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. The mole on my face grew a scab, and when the scab fell off, after a week or two, my mole was gone. Remember that? Look, it is gone, you guys. Check it out. There's like a little bit of a scar right there, but you know what? It does not bother me at all. I was actually really quite amazed with the results. Unfortunately, a few months later, that little brown spot on my face grew back. So about a year ago, I decided to make another update video that I actually have never aired. I did it on a mole on my nose and a mole on my chin, and this is how it went. I want to let you know that I have had this mole removed not once, but twice from a freaking dermatologist. They went in and they shaved it off, and my face looked flawless for several weeks. And then the sucker came back. And they said that to do that stupid little freckle, they're gonna actually have to go in and do what's called a punch biopsy, which means they're gonna take like an apple core type thing, go kunk on your face and remove that bit of skin. And then they're gonna have to get a cosmetic surgeon in to sew it up. So this is a much bigger headache than I had originally thought. So fortunately, I have this mole removal pen, and I'm gonna just zap this sucker off my face right now. I'm using my all-time favorite product, this bottle of micellar water, and I'm gonna use it on the area of the mole that I am going to remove. Definitely don't plan to do this before an important event or photo shoot, because you're not gonna wanna leave the house with a scab on your face. I'm gonna do it on level 3 today because this mole is so freaking stubborn. I have no numbing cream on or anything. I'm just doing this right on my skin. This smells disgusting, but it's actually not hurting me very badly. And that's probably because I've had this mole removed so many times, it's probably developed like a callus under there. So if you're trying this for the first time, I definitely recommend you start it on the lowest setting and then work your way up to see how much you can take. Do you guys see that? It's black. Yum, yum, yum. Actually, on my last video, people were actually saying not to use alcohol because alcohol is flammable. And you know what? They're probably right. I'm just using my cotton with the micellar water, and look at what came off on the cotton pad. I think that's my mole on the cotton pad. That's pretty freaky. I think I'm done with this mole. I'm just wiping it off a little bit with the micellar water. It already looks like it's starting to come off. And this mole was also removed by a dermatologist. Again, they shaved it off and it grew back. But I actually now have a nice big fat scar there. Let's see how it works on that. And let's turn this room freaking. I'm expecting this to form a scab, and then when the scab falls off, so should the mole. It's really important to not pick the scab early because by doing that, it can create a nice little scar. Honestly, I don't give a shit that much because it's just so easy to cover it with makeup. Besides, I'm married, so the only people I have to impress these days is you. It has been 10 days. You can see the brown part is pretty much gone. All that's left on my face is kind of like a little red dot. All I need is a little touch of makeup and it's completely invisible. You can't even see it. But unfortunately, every time I wash my face and I dry it, I'm messing with that scab. So the scab came off just a little bit prematurely. And here's the one on my chin. I had a scar there previously with a mole on it. The scar is obviously still there, but the brown spot is gone. And the mole grew back. But the one on my chin never really returned. I just have a little scar there now. And truth be told, I kind of prefer the scar to the mole. So we've seen how the mole remover pen works on flat moles, but how does it work on skin tags? Well, I got my hubby to try to remove a skin tag off my back. And here's how it went. So here's one of my ugly skin tags. As you can see, it's clear, but it's raised. Now, my husband had no clue how to use this and he was really hesitant. So he first started off just touching the tip to the tag and you can see how it's starting to change color. This is on my back so I couldn't really see what he was doing and I had to just trust him. Since so many of you guys freaked out about using rubbing alcohol the first time, we went with hydrogen peroxide. But after cleaning it off, we realized that it wasn't really doing anything. So I told him to turn up the pen to level 3.
Now it's working.
Ouch, ouch. Now it's working?
Yeah.
And as you can see, I definitely felt that. It's basically burning off the skin tag. Some of you guys said that it's like a soldering iron, and you're not wrong. I mean, obviously the pen doesn't get as hot as a soldering iron, but it kind of works with the same principle. Please do not use a soldering iron on your skin. After he tried to remove the skin tag, I put a little Neosporin on it and covered it with a Band-Aid and left it on for a few days. Thank you. I think it's probably better to leave it uncovered, but it was in a spot on my back that would have gotten rubbed very often and I didn't want to deal with any of that. And here's a picture of the tag 3 days later. You can see how it turned into a little sore, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he got the entire thing. So there's still a small bump of skin left over. And here we are at a week. The tag is still red and the skin is slightly peeling around it. I don't think it ever formed a scab, but that's probably just because I kept it covered. Now this last photo was taken about 20 days later and I can really see the part that he missed. But overall the tag is quite a bit flatter than it was originally and it no longer flops around. If I could do it myself, I probably would have focused more along the base of the tag to kind of cut it off at the stalk. I'm going to take a minute just to address some of your most common questions. Question number 1, does it work on wrinkles and varicose veins? I would definitely not suggest trying this product on wrinkles and varicose veins. This thing basically just burns your skin and forms a scab. I can't see how this would work for something like that. Does it work on freckles or raised moles? Yes and yes. So it did work pretty well on my flat moles on my face, but as you could see, they came back and they came back pretty quickly. As far as raised moles and skin tags, well, I don't have too many raised moles, but the skin tag did flatten out, and I think if you keep going at it, you'll eventually remove it. As far as the color of the mole, I don't really know. It might come back. So you're gonna have to use it at your own risk. Is this a safe product? You know, dermatologists don't recommend it, the doctors don't recommend it. I mean, it is sold to the public, so I guess they can't really get away with selling something that's gonna be extremely dangerous. But you do have to be really careful. Make sure you get your moles checked by a doctor before you try to remove them. If it starts to bleed while you're doing it, I suggest you give it a rest, let it heal up for a few days, and then come back and try again. It burns your skin, it forms a scab, and when your scab comes off, your mole should be gone. But just keep in mind, they very well could come back. So if you don't want them to come back, definitely use a sunscreen, which will help. Even then, no promises. I think the one that I got is actually discontinued. There are many more of these out on the market that are probably better and have more bells and whistles. I'll put a link down below so you can browse them yourself. Do I recommend it? I'm gonna give it a meh. I'd love to hear about your experiences with this product. You can leave me a comment and let me know how it worked for you. I hope you enjoyed my little follow-up review. Make sure to check out my other videos. As always, thank you so much for watching.